What makes you stand out from the other girls competing in Miss Grand International?
I think the essence of Sophia is like no other. Um, I'm very true to myself, but not only that, I really love myself, and I'm proud that I can say that. And because I love myself, because I'm so passionate and grateful about the woman I am today, I believe that I'm in a really amazing position where I can share my expertise in the areas that I'm knowledgeable about onto other people and help them reach their goals too.
Fantastic. You nailed it, Miss Indonesia. What can I say? Okay. Uh, if you don't end up winning this pageant, okay, who would you like to see win? Hypothetically.
Mm, If I don't end up winning this pageant, I would only hope that the title holder will be the most amazing and pure woman that could ever grace this stage. I hope that she shares the same vision as me and wants to pursue happiness in our greater society and pushes to encourage the youth to strive for a better future.
Okay, amazing. You know what? I do not know what to tell you.
So dude, you have to tell me something.
Because I'm so mesmerized with your answer that I'm so engrossed with the answer that it penetrates to my system,
Oh.
and that I really like the answer because it's very you,
Yeah.
very Sophia, very original, and not the typical way other beauty queens are answering. So it's very genuine. I love it so much. That's the truth. Okay, so I will just keep on asking you questions. I think it's just a matter of being accustomed to the questions, but because the
Yeah, I think
answer you
so.
give are more than what we expect you to give. Seriously.
Okay.
If you were to win this pageant, how would you handle all the attention that you will receive? Just remove this.
Well, since I have been crowned Miss Grand Indonesia, this idea of fame is nothing like I've ever experienced before, and it's totally not what I expected. But I'm really pleasantly surprised actually because for the most part, the majority of the people who follow me are so supporting, and as much as I want them to remember that I am a real human being too, sometimes I have to remind myself that these people are also human beings, and I know what it feels like to have a role model to look up to. And all I can hope is that I can do my job to a T and that I can guide them in a correct direction.
Okay, that's amazing. So you know your purpose while you're there.
Yes.
Okay, it's like an. Miss Sophia, do you think it's appropriate for a pageant title holder like you to have an online dating profile?
Actually, yeah, I don't see a problem with having an online dating profile because, like I said with the last question, I believe, as much as we are beauty queens, we're also human beings, and I think that is our power when we bring it to the beauty queen stage and these pageants, the essence of a beauty queen is forever evolving and changing, and I think today more than ever, it's all about being genuine. So,
Yeah. Talking about being genuine, okay?
Ooh.
So I would like to know what is your advocacy, or what is the advocacy that you're pushing or supporting at this point?
Well, I'd like to point out at first, I really struggled with finding an advocacy because there was just so much that I feel like needed to be touched upon in a mainstream light. But at the end of the day, I narrowed it down and I decided that I really want to talk about mental health and break the stigma against mental health. Because as someone who deals with anxiety, I know that a lot of other people deal with this too, and we really need to come together as a global community right now and really embrace it. Because at the end of the day, we are here for each other and we can really empower each other to keep moving forward.
Okay, talking about being bullied in the past, so could you please share to us a very specific or concrete example of the bullying that you experienced?
Well, just like any other person, thinking back to these times still makes me a bit upset. But I know that there's power in sharing these memories because there are plenty of other young women out there just like me experiencing the same things. So, when I was around 16 years old, there were a group of girls in my high school that really banded against me, and made me feel like I was unlovable or I was undeserving of real friendship, from small things like calling me names in class to rather large scale things like leaving me in a mountain, I really felt.
So how did you cope up with such bullying that you experienced? Of course you felt down at that point. Where did you get your strength to continue to?
Well, ever since then I always thought like I was weak because of the way I reacted. I actually felt quite depressed for 8 months after or during. But now I realize that those months were months of power because I was able to come to terms with my emotions and I allowed myself to feel how I was feeling. And I think that requires so much strength, and to this day, I have people tell me that they're going through hard chapters in their life, and the best advice I could give them is to let yourself feel all the emotions that you're struggling with, because when you let yourself feel, that is the power and the art of healing. And once you've gotten to the point where you reach an epiphany and you feel like, what, I don't want to be upset anymore. It's just like so enlightening, and I think you just get all your power back in that one instant, and it's just worth all of it.
Okay, so if, for example, you will be able to meet those girls who bullied you at this time that you are now the Miss Grand Indonesia, what are you going to tell them?
Honestly, I would just treat them like any other person. I would say, hi, how have you been? What have you been up to? And then if the topic arised about that, I would definitely share how I felt. But I think it's important not to expect anything from people that have hurt you in the past or whatever, because then you give them all the power. And I think I'm at a place now where I'm content with who I am, and I don't need the approval, especially from someone who made me feel so low.
Well said. And I ran out of battery. That's why I keep on asking you anything under the sun. I forgot to bring my charger because I thought it's fully charged, but it's okay. We can